Hey guys, Jill here from Mother Earth Medicinals, and I'm here today to talk to you about comfrey, specifically this root that I have. My really awesome friend, um, he's also is very interested in herbs, aspiring herbalist himself, and has way more experience than I do so far, but he's been a really great help, and he decided to send me some comfrey because he knew I was interested in it, and at that time, I hadn't really found any local comfrey. I don't know if you can see it yet. This right here behind me is kind of like my makeshift drying rack right now. And I believe this is also comfrey, but I'm not sure. So I'm probably not going to use it. Well, I'm definitely not going to until I definitely identify it, but which you should never do. You should never, because as the more I read about comfrey, the more I find that it's similar. It's either the same family as foxglove, which is poisonous. So obviously, like here, take some healing herbs. No, I only use things that I'm for sure about. And while I'm over here, before I get to off topic, this is sunflower root. I had a most beautiful, beautiful 10-foot tall sunflower. It hadn't even bloomed yet. Everyone else's has, but it wasn't in the most sun. But my dad has been working on the sewer line and just decided that he needed to be right where my sunflowers were and dug it up. So the flowers and everything got buried, but I saved the root, so that'll be another video. But today we're talking about comfrey roots. There's a lot of controversy about comfrey, and if you just do a simple search of comfrey, you're probably going to see websites like WebMD, Healthline, stuff like that come up first because, of course, they're sponsored and, whatever, most credible, I guess. So I pretty much all of the things I've heard and I've read say that comfrey is safe. It's been ruled safe topically if you apply it topically, which is its most common use. Comfrey, which there's two types of comfrey. There's common wild comfrey, and then there's cultivated comfrey. Wild comfrey is Symphytum officinale, and cultivated comfrey is Symphytum uplandica. Okay, I decided to check my all-time favorite herbalist, Susun Weed. She is amazing, and I hope by the time I'm her age, I am just like her. But she says that she has been using cultivated comfrey, Symphytum uplandica, every day in an infusion with no issues. And so that's good enough for me, but she says that it's specifically the cultivated, the uplandica. The officinale, she can't really speak for. She doesn't really use it other than topically. So that's what I've decided to do. My friend, he's so great. He sent me so much, and he's like, make sure you plan it. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then babies and kids and just, I tend to kind of be like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then it's a couple days, but I'm getting better. Thanks to my supplements, really, I really do feel like my thyroid was getting in the way. But anyway, so let's talk about comfrey. Comfrey, also known as boneset or knit bone, is most used for healing bones, healing wounds. That being said, you do not want to use it on an open wound. Bug bites, that's one thing, but like an open cut, like a deep wound, because what it can do is okay, so the main constituent in it, probably going to say this wrong, I think it's allantoin, Alantoin, I believe. It stimulates cell growth. So when you apply it topically like that to a deep wound, it will it'll create the scab or whatever, it'll grow your skin back before the inner. So that could possibly trap infection and whatnot. So you don't really want to use it for that. But I personally have never used comfrey. That being said, I've read countless stories, which, it's the internet, and that's where I get my information. But I have a couple trusted herbalists that have been doing this for like 20, 30 years, and I do trust what they say. They have their own businesses, their own websites, books, I trust Susun Weed, Rosemary Gladstar, things like that. There's even another great one is Annie's Home Remedies, I believe is the website, Annie's Remedies, and that's a great site as well. But when I do my online research, I definitely make sure I do a Google search and then click on about 10 different websites that have info that I'm looking for, and then cross-reference and kind of, you know, see where it overlaps. So anyway, he sent me these to be planted, and like I said, I didn't get around to it, but they dried out. I laid them out and they dried, and so I can still use them. What I'm going to be doing today is grinding them in my brand new coffee grinder. I had no use for them. I do have a mortar and pestle right here, but I don't see me grinding all these herbs in a mortar and pestle down to a fine powder. So hopefully this thing's awesome. It might take me a second to figure it out, but I've never used one. But today we're gonna learn. Yeah, so comfrey is used mainly as like a bone healer, and I'll just show you some of these stories that I've read. So one mother, she said they were out like picking apples from her tree. The boy falls off and breaks his arm, and she instantly goes and like puts a comfrey cast, as it's called, on it. I'm not sure if it was the leaves or the root, but yeah, she said like remarkable healing time. Like, they like set it or whatever, put it right in the sling, and then healed it. And he said like within a couple weeks, like he was back to normal, like no pain. Another really cool story is a mother who was getting up in the middle of the night and broke her pinky toe on the edge of her bed, which that actually happened to my mother. I'm not sure if it was with me or my older sister, but yeah, I mean, sticking straight out. And so this woman, I don't know if you've ever broke your pinky toe. I haven't, but my mom said it was like terrible, of course. You can only imagine. So this woman said, yeah, it was super, super painful. And so what she did was she took some of this root powder, put just enough water in it to make it like a paste, and just put it on her toe. Next morning, the pain was reduced so much that she was able to put it straight, put some more comfrey on it, and she said by the end of the week, she was fine, no pain. And if you've ever broken a toe or a finger, there's really not much that they can do for you. Like, they can kind of put it in a cast, depending if it's a finger or not, and like a little splint or whatever, and then send you home with some pain meds. So, comfrey, awesome. It's definitely one of those things that I want in my medicinal cabinet. So yes, I wish that I was going to be able to grow this. But I will. I'm going to get some seeds eventually, I guess. Root cuttings are really cool. What I should have done when I got this was cut these into a couple pieces, or maybe not, and stuck them either straight in the dirt or into like little paper cups, or like toilet paper holders. The centers, cut them and fill them with dirt. Should have, didn't. If you're interested in cultivating some comfrey for your own use, it is important to know that if you are planting it either from seed or from root cutting or at all, comfrey has a very deep taproot. Like here in Arkansas, you'd probably dig no more than 6 feet before you hit like shelf rock. So comfrey would have an interesting time with its root system, because after about its second year, its root can get up to 20 foot deep. And so say, oh, I've got this beautiful comfrey plant, which it is really beautiful. And you say, I want to move it over here. I don't think it's doing good here. So you dig it up and you get most of the taproot. Well, here's the taproot and here's all of its little baby roots. That's what like pretty much all of these are. So you dig it up, you move it, and then like next year, all of a sudden you have all these new plants. So comfrey is really hard. And since it to transplant fully, you pretty much would need like a backhoe and just like scoop out all that and restart. So when you do plant comfrey, you want to make sure that you plant it where you want it for good. Or they say it doesn't really grow good in a pot unless you had like a very big pot. Raised beds, that could work too. So another thing that comfrey is used for is fertilizer. Comfrey leaves are high in nitrogen, higher than legumes, beans, all that. So they say make a comfrey tea, basically like you would make tea, which is actually, I do need to make some more iced tea, so I'm going to make another video here in a second about that after this one. But yeah, they make a tea out of it, and they use it as fertilizer. They put it in their compost to really kind of stir it up, so that's a main use. One guy I watched a video, and he just took all the leaves from a plant, put it in a 5-gallon bucket, didn't really go into the process. He said, don't add water, and then showed me this bucket of sludge. And they said they diluted that 20 parts water to 1 part comfrey sludge. And then said something about using human urine. So I'm not sure if he like peed on the leaves and that condensed it or what, but I don't know. Comfrey sludge. Good. Other people have used it as a tea. Um, if you have ulcers, I would say, as far as like with the Susun Weed, as far as she's concerned, use the Symphytum officinale. She uses that every day. I think maybe, don't quote me, I'm not a doctor, I cannot diagnose, prescribe, this is not medical advice. Please do not replace your current medicine or regimen for what I say. I am learning, okay, and I'm just trying to share with you what I know so far. But me personally, if I had a deep internal wound, bleeding, if I had a severe, like my ribs were broken, something, I might take maybe a cup of comfrey tea a week. Very, very seldom, because it does contain a lot of alkaloids that are toxic in high doses. When you, sorry, I'm trying to figure out this thing. I'm sure if I read the instructions, when you put it on topically, it doesn't quite enter your bloodstream like it does when you drink it, So, say it's ruled as safe topically. So that's how I'm going to use it. That's what I'm going to make it for today. I'm hoping I'm going to send some to my mother and my grandmother for her fibro. She's complaining of lower back issues, and my grandmother has nerve pain. She had a clot removed, and they kind of nicked her nerve. And so they're giving her medications for her pain, but in my head, it's like, it would be so much cooler if we could actually just heal your nerve, help regrow your nerve so that the pain just goes away in general instead of just putting a Band-Aid on it. To me, that's what most medicine does, it does, pharmaceutical medicine. It doesn't really heal your body, it just distracts your brain. So, let's see, maybe I should read these instructions. Pull to unwind core, twist top to rewind. Cool. That's pretty simple. Let's see. Cover, bowl, grind button, storage. Okay, well, it looks pretty simple to me. Let's see. Hopefully this isn't super loud. I don't see a mute button, but oh dear. Let's see what we get. I have quite a bit of comfrey here, actually. I have quite a bit. Like, this thing is full. This is an old strawberry tray, and I try to cut down on plastic, and then you don't even know. I've got jars, all my spaghetti sauce jars, everything. I just tucked away, honey jars, everything. So yeah, let's see what we got. I kind of washed it off, which they say you really probably shouldn't do. That's all it came with. I feel like there should be like more blades. Didn't it say I can adjust it? I don't know. We're gonna see, and if not, I guess I'll figure it out. Yeah, I kind of lightly scrubbed them, not because they were dirty, but I don't know. They say that you should leave the dirt on because that's part of its natural environment, and I usually do. I don't know. It wasn't like a hard scrub. I just kind of was like, honestly trying to probably rehydrate him. I did it when I first got him. I was like, all right, because that's what you do with bare root plants. You should definitely like keep them hydrated, and if you suspect that they're not hydrated, then soak them in water for like 24 hours. And I asked my master gardener of a dad, I'm like, hey, do you think, since he's been dried out for a couple weeks, think I could just soak him in water for a couple days and grow him? He's like, no, not a chance. I'm like, okay, I can help. All right, cross your fingers, and let's see. I don't have a mute button on this. Expand. Is my brightness? I guess not. All right, well, I think that's, I don't know. Hopefully it's not really annoying. Let's see. I don't think it likes the big chunks. No, it does not like the big chunks. So we're gonna improvise. Let's see. Let's see. Excuse me while I go wash this since my kitchen sink is not working. Okay, so cutting board right here. Let's attempt to do this again. And hopefully I did not just mess up my grinder that quickly. I mean, I see I bent a blade, but heck. Alright. Yeah, that's way too many pieces. Way too thick. Alright, so, and of course, this knife sucks. Wonder, I'm going to try mortar and pestling it. See if I can't just break them up a little bit. Not a chance. These things are tough, man. For sure. I'm like, what about a meat grinder or a meat pulverizer or whatever? Which I do not have, I guess. Oh, damn. It's hard. Really. Not giving up. I'm very stubborn and tenacious, I guess you would say. I don't like giving up. They're like, huh. God, these are tough. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, maybe I'm just going to end up doing the smaller chunks, the smaller little pieces in there. I did start with a kind of bigger one, and I might have to get my dad's fruit processor. But I would still like to show you a finished product and kind of go step by step how to apply it. Alright. Let's go with some nice smaller baby roots. Funny, I actually have a friend asking me right now. It's also a very controversial subject, herbal birth control / herbal abortions. There are methods which really have to be taken correctly, otherwise it won't work. And then if you use some of them, like pennyroyal and tansy, you can end up with, deformations and stuff, birth defects, if you don't. If you're trying to abort and it doesn't work, the best, if you try that, the best bet is to just go in and get one at that point. But that's a huge subject. I just had someone ask me. So, one of the most common, natural, affordable, available options for herbal abortion, kind of, is vitamin C. Go figure. But not like, oh God, I'm pregnant, should I not drink orange juice? No, this is like, you have to take like 500 milligrams an hour for a couple days. I actually used that method recently. I do not want to be pregnant right now, and I'll just save it. I'll go into that in another video. Don't want to get too political or anything like that. Oh, so earlier I started this video and I tried to switch tabs to go to look something up for you guys, and it stopped my video. So I'm going to do this right now. So as you can see, comfrey root has like a dark outer bark, but when you break it, it is white inside. So sure, both parts are very important to the healing process. Right now I'm trying to only get these little ones because kind of clogged down. So really just do that and see, hopefully it still works. Heck, I think I remember. Oh God. How did I do that? I used it one time and I already messed it up. Piece of crap. Proctor Silex. Well, good to know. Don't get a Proctor Silex grinder. What the heck? Like, really? Oh, great for spices. What the heck? Well, that kind of went south. Sure, my dude can fix it though. Good old maintenance man. Man, that really bums me out. I just bought this yesterday. I spent $13 on it, and it doesn't even work. I used it one time, didn't even complete my task. Well, so much for that. Damn. Well, I guess that's the end of my video. Really? Like, I don't know what. Like, really, is the motor that? Looks like of course, it's not a regular screw to get into it. It's like a triangle-shaped screw. Like, why do you do that? Send us back to us. Oh, tell me there's like a warranty on this. Alright, well, today's lesson is do not buy cheap things. I really was looking for a hand grinder, but they did not have that at my local store, so performance tested for durability and reliability. Can other brands say that? Ooh, 1-year warranty. Well, guess what? I'm about to fill that out and do that because, man, that's stupid. It ran for like 5 seconds. Oh, well. One more time. Plug it in. Cross your fingers. Nope. Alright, well. That backfired, but at least you guys kind of learned about Comfrey. It really is simple if you have the right tools. You just grind it up and use, depending on the area affected, you want to just take the powder and add a little bit of water. Like, you don't want it to be runny, you want it to be like paste, you know. So, depending on the area, try to judge in your mind. Add a little water and immediately apply it. There are fibers, I'm not sure necessarily in the root, but there's definitely fibers in the comfrey leaf that, when applied topically as a poultice, is what it's called, that help cling to your skin, like little hairs. So it dries really fast, and you really want to use it pretty much ASAP. Mix and put it on. Leave it on for a while until you feel is right, you know. Don't do it if you're in a rushed time, you know. For long-term healing, then put it on 20, 30 plus minutes. Yeah. And to get it off, you just wash it off. Most of it should peel off, but the rest you just wash off with soap and water. But yeah, do your own research if you're interested in using it. Like I said, it's only safe. You know, they say officially that it's only really safe to take it topically, externally. So keep that in mind, but of course we are all individuals with the right to choose what we want. So I choose to use Comfrey. If you do, research, do your research. Otherwise, till next time, hopefully my tea video will go a lot better. So stay tuned.